Kinkaid.
Call Kelly Kinkaid.
Kelly Kinkaid.
It's First Aid with Kelly Kinkaid on Sway in the Morning.
Want to be, desire to be surrounded around big askers. I'm about to change the whole title of this. Big askers for 2019. I want to be surrounded around big askers. If you're a big asker, I need you in my circle. It's not the time for us to be connected around those who are fearful for speaking up. I need to be connected to big askers because those who ask also are willing to step up and do.
That was the voice of our very special guest today on First Aid with Kelly Kinkaid. She has a litany of accomplishments, Kelly Kinkaid. She's just not here talking. Tell them about her background, Kelly.
You know, I think that, first of all, this is one of my support my sisters. I just recently came off a retreat in Jamaica, and I got a chance to connect. Exactly.
Hello.
Exactly.
And I got a chance to experience the big ask with our guest today, Lucinda Cross. And, you know, I find your story I connect with your story. And I love it because I'm a big fan of Iyanla Vanzant because she's been through the mud. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I just recently got a chance to see her at the Acts of Faith remix tour in Detroit. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to bring you up today because we're about to get into the fall. Mm-hmm. And we still have time. People still have goals. And I love this book, The Big Ask. And I want you to tell people first of all, because you're a personal development coach, you're a president, you're a boss. Let's just say that.
But what's some of the things she's doing?
I'm saying she's the president of Activate Worldwide. She has a non-for-profit, Activate Your Life. She's also she's been a TEDx speaker. Just talking about just doing it. Living your life to the fullest. Mm-hmm. And you have a story because when you were a teenager, tell us about that time in your life.
Absolutely. And it leads to the reason why I write books today and the small accomplishments that I celebrate. But just being a teenager who is destined to go to, I was attending college to be a lawyer and didn't realize that in a matter of months I would need my own lawyer. And I ended up serving 4.5 years in federal prison.
Wow.
And so from the age of 18, 19, my peers are graduating out of college, and I'm graduating out of federal prison at Bryan, Texas. Mm.
What did you go to prison? Well, first of all, I guess Lucinda Cross is here.
Yeah.
What did you go to prison for?
So I went to prison for distribution and possession of heroin, and I was a part of an international case. Have never been caught with anything, thank God, because I was in Thailand and Japan, and those areas don't take those crimes lightly. Okay. But I was a part of a larger case. We had 65 co-defendants, 28 of us was convicted, and it was all females, and I was the only American.
And where did you grow up? What city was this taking place?
I grew up in the Bronx. Actually,
okay.
I grew up in the Bronx, Gun Hill Projects, and the case was from Chicago and Nigeria. So.
Okay. Lucinda Cross, damn it.
And really just got caught up.
Hell of a start.
And really just got caught up at a young age, but turned your life around. Let's talk. And the big ask. What is the big ask, and what is this book about?
Well, the big ask it's based off of my frustrations. I always say there's a fortune in your frustration. Mm-hmm. And so in the process of coaching and talking to women all the time, it wasn't the fact that they didn't have the support they needed or didn't have the money that they needed to build their business or build their life. They just wasn't asking because of pride, because they are used to being let down. And I said, well, have you asked? No, I don't, and so everybody had their own hangups. But I said, why don't you ask? It's free. Mm-hmm. Asking is free. And for me, asking got me into a lot of places because I had to remove a lot of my pride of I have it all together, I'm the know-it-all, and not wanting to appear like I didn't have it together. And when I decided to let go of all my hang-ups, people were opening up their doors.
Lucinda Cross, the author of the book, The Big Ask. I was going, and you got 21 keys to get everything you desire and deserve. And I was looking at some of these keys to see which ones I've actually possibly practiced myself. But I want to start with when you say all you have to do is ask, but you have a segment in here that says get your ask together because
yes.
People don't know what to ask for or how to formulate that ask.
Yep.
How did you do it, and how would you suggest they do it?
One, I had to realize that people are not obligated to help you or support you, especially when you're on your dreams and desires. And so, one, being clear on your ask is, are you prepared for this ask, or are you just asking? You know, and that's where we go into being an ask hole that I talk about in the book.
Okay.
Go ahead now.
But, you know, so preparing your ask, what is it that you really desire? Some people say, well, I need money. Well, is that the thing that you really need to build your business, or do you need a connection that'll help bring you to another level? So it's about removing all the small things that you think you need right now. That's what got me. That's why I did prison in the first time, chasing after money. I felt I needed money. I got to get out the projects. I got to help my mother. Who told me to do that? My ask was to just continue to go to school and see who can else open up doors for me. So that goes into clarity and being clear.
While in prison, is that where you developed this way of thinking, this philosophy?
I always, you know, you mentioned Iyanla Vanzant. So, I mean, at 16, I didn't have relationship issues, but I was reading Iyanla Vanzant. I was always into Tony Robbins. My mother, God rest her soul, she is a psychology major, double major. So we were like, even though we were in the projects, we were her guinea pigs. So she's like, how do you feel today? And what do you think? And let's get into creative visualization. And so that's where it started for me. I always avid reader, always into personal development, always into, you know, I went into the science knowledge. I'm the wisdom in the earth. You know, I did all my phases.
Oh, you do? Okay.
At a young age, I went through all my phases. And so that's when I did my prison time, I was able to lean on that knowledge that I was working on before.
Lucinda Cross is here. Give out your social, man, if people want to talk with you directly.
Absolutely. They can go. Instagram is my baby. They can go to Lucinda Cross on Instagram.
Spell that for them.
LucindaCross.
Okay.
Hey, Lucinda.
Hey.
I'm wondering, what was your first 3 asks as soon as you left prison?
Where can I get a job?
Okay.
Can I have a drink?
Okay. Who you asked that?
And who is my man with that I was with before I left? That's the truth. I wanted to know, where's he at, and is he with somebody? Because I need to see you. But yeah, those were my 3 asks. I wanted to get a job.
Right.
I wanted to wind down.
Yeah.
And I wanted to just see some men.
Really wind down.
Really wind down.
And then are you able to see from those asks, like, and I know it's a lot of steps, but how in general, how did this lead to you eventually getting a Lifetime Achievement Award from President Barack Obama?
That's crazy.
Because it just seems like 2 worlds apart.
Exactly. From prison to a presidential award.
Yeah.
Like, who does that? From the projects to the, you know, so it's, come on now, we'll get to preaching. But it's just doing the work and not expecting nothing, you know, anything on the back end. I just was out there doing the work, going and lending a hand up for those girls who are coming home. We pack these goodie bags for them when they first come home. They don't have stuff. Just out in the community supporting and just like I said, being the best kept secret, and somebody saw that and they recommended me for the award.
What I really like, you talked to women, but this is talking to men and women, because it's never too late. And you have a chapter in the book saying you deserve what you desire, because a lot of people feel like they're unworthy.
Absolutely.
You know, and what do you talk about in that chapter? Like, if someone was listening and they're about to buy this book, what about that?
You deserve what you desire. A lot of people, male, female, they feel as if, like you said, I don't deserve to receive. I don't deserve to ask. And they have these hang-ups about themselves. They don't forgive themselves. So I say, forgive yourself. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has a story. But that doesn't mean that God still doesn't have things for you to do. And he doesn't have gifts for you to give you.
Amen.
And writing down your ask, because we did a practice as far as writing down 10 things, and we eliminated it to 3, because you say you should always do it in 3s. Why? I love the number 3.
Because people just like to do the most. You know, we are overthinkers. We want a meeting for the meeting about the meeting to have a meeting. And it's like, come on. Let's just get to it. What's the 3 things that you are going to focus on? Get those done. Celebrate that. And let's go on to the next.
Lucinda Cross is here. You know, it's funny, Kelly, you brought that chapter up, Ask for What You Deserve.
Yes.
And I remember having a conversation with Red Foo from a group called LMFAO. They had the song, Shots, 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 Shots. Everybody. But I knew Red Foo from before he became LMFAO, and they were more underground rappers in the 90s. And he just pivoted and changed his whole trajectory and achieved massive success. And I asked him, what did you do to change that? He said, I started writing in my lyrics about the things I wanted And he said, and Sway, months later, the house I wanted that I wrote about, the car I wanted that I wrote about, the women he wanted at that time that he wrote about, he was experiencing all of those things. Now, you have another part in the book where this is something that I actually practiced early on in life, where you say, act as if you have already succeeded. And so you kind of walk in there. I'm going to read a little bit. Most people who achieve anything significant in their lives have lived through a time of doubt, frustration, and despair. Unfortunately, this is often a prelude to success that we all must face. One of the best methods for reducing the amount of hardship you suffer is to always act as if you have already succeeded. This is also called back from the future thinking. Project yourself forward and imagine how you would feel if you were already in possession of your goals. Then you hold that successful feeling and you keep it with you during your challenging times. I do that to this day.
Come on.
When
we have to.
I'm stressing on something. I'm like, hold up. I got all this joy over here. Let me focus on the joy, the things that make me feel good, the ways that I feel like I'm succeeding. I'd rather swim in that. I'd rather be basking in that success than worrying about the problems, you know. This is very great. It's a great book. I want to open up the phone lines, 888-742-3345. Maybe you're receiving a roadblock in your thinking and in your life. Call up. The book is called The Big Ask, 21 Keys to Get Everything You Desire and Deserve by Lucinda Cross. First Aid with Kelly Kinkaid. Give us a call.
More First Aid with Kelly Kinkaid on Shade 45.
Very special guest here today.
Yes, we have Lucinda Cross, author of The Big Ask. You know, people listening right now, I want you to go get this book right now because it's a lot of game, it's a lot of encouragement, really to help you get through your big ask. How can people get this book, Lucinda?
They can go to Amazon, pick up the book, just put in The Big Ask, or they can go to my website, lucindacross.com.
And spell your name?
LucindaCross.com.
And we're talking about the big ask, people asking for what they want. And, you know, in the table of contents, we talked about you deserve what you desire, practice your ask. People who are really struggling with getting it kind of full and clear vision, you say write it down. You talk, and you're a lover of vision boards. How is that effective, seeing it?
Seeing it is everything because, you know, we live in a time where everybody just types things in and no one is physically writing things down. There's power in writing that vision down and being clear on it and actually seeing it every day is something that'll motivate you. We see a whole lot of stuff that it brings us emotionally up and down. But when you're able to see your own goals and vision on a piece of paper with some clippings, it may sound silly, but when you go back to that childlike mentality, it gives you a sense of joy and freedom. And I also say we have to detach. So the issue is not even some people have no problem asking, but they're so attached to what they feel the outcome should be that they miss your answers in front of you. They're chasing after, well, it has to be like this. So, no, this is not it. You know, I know how it should be. And they're so attached to what they think it should be that they're not even open up to realizing 5 other people just came to bless you, but you're still waiting for it to come in a red, shiny box.
Simplify it.
Lucinda Cross. I heard that. Get a round of applause right there. Every time a game moment happened, applaud that. You're doing a conference. Everybody in the tri-state area, or even you got time if you want to fly in for this conference. It's the Big Ass Conference that's happening Friday, September the 20th from 9:30 to 3 p.m. at the Alhambra Ballroom in Harlem. You could get tickets. Go to www.thebigasklive.com.
Yes.
Okay. The Alhambra Ballroom, that has some
Malcolm X.
Is that the
right?
It's right next to
Uptown.
Yep, right next to Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What's happening from 9:30 to 3? What will be going on during the Big Ass Conference?
A lot of activities. This is not your conventional conference. We're going to be working. This is all about creating partnerships. Everyone's talking about let's support each other. We're making it happen and kind of forcing that kind of partnerships, collaborations in the room on the spot. So you don't have time to think about it and come up with rates and pricing. That everyone is going to be required. Like one of our activities, they have to work on a social conscious activity together, whether you're feeding the homeless or going to a halfway house, or they have to come up with something they'll do together, complete strangers, to make it happen.
Okay, I want to take some phone calls. Maybe Lucinda has the perfect advice for you. I know you can find it in his book, The Big Ask. 888-742-3345. Spencer's on the line from Tampa. What up, Big Spence?
Good morning.
Spence!
What's going on, Sway?
What's happening, man?
How you doing, Sway?
Oh, man, I'm loving life.
Man, appreciate it.
All right.
Hey, I thank you, man. This is my second time getting through. First off, Linda, I'm not an avid reader, right? But this book, I'm definitely going to support because for the last 3 years, I've been doing or living in this space of what's called, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the law of attraction, right? The law of attraction states that the universe will give you whatever it is that you want. But for me, what took place was I stopped just thinking it and I started speaking things. And to make a long story short, I was on a project down here in Tampa. This is where I wanted to be. I started speaking it, so I started seeing realities for myself. And about a year ago, my oldest son, got shot. And when I realized, the doctor said, hey, he may never have kids, he may never, walk right again because he got hit with an AR down near the waist, the bottom side. But what I told my son was, I said, hey, the doctor spoke something into existence for you, and you hear your psyche, right? So I told him, reject that, not by, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. I said, you have to speak that you're going to be fine. And over this last year, he's having a procedure this morning, and guess what? His seminal vesicle works. He can have children. So for everyone that's listening, for me, when I got down here, I wrote it down, and one morning I woke up, and my wife and I were going through, and she said, I'm not coming, because she had to leave her job. And I said, this isn't the vision that I wanted. So I told her, I said, you know what, you're coming. If we're past the point of no return, then you can leave, but I'm going to get you straight. So now those religious people, spiritual, that religious say, you wait on God. Well, here's how I break it down. I said, well, in that book that you read, nothing happened until God said that there be light, right? So that's significant in your words, and there's power in your words, and I'm continuing to read more. So I just encourage everyone to not only think it, see it, write it down, but speak it. And it's been working for me, and it just touched my heart this morning that I just talked to my son with, going through a surgery. So people speak things.
Yes.
And what you say, get your ask straight. So I just wanted to call in and say that it's very powerful and it's true. And that's what I'm living in now.
My man Spencer, man, you're a citizen, man. And there's a chapter called The Force of Attraction. You can have what you want, speaking to exactly what you're saying, Spencer. And I'm happy for your son and your family, okay? We're going to go to Gregory B.
Let's go.
Well, Gregory B is in Atlanta. Go ahead,
Good
Gregory.
morning.
Say hello to Lucinda.
Hey, Sway and the family.
Hey, man. What's up, bro?
I can't complain. I was just calling to encourage Lucinda. I'm encouraged with your story, as well as I just like to say you're absolutely right. I've been a legally blind guy for the majority of my life, and I lease over 10 properties and other things too as well, and people are amazed. As well as I would like to share the inspirational YouTube video with you. It's called Palm Trees Bend But Never Break. Palm trees bend but never break. And God bless you, and continue to be encouraged.
Thank you.
Hey, make sure you pick up her book, too, The Big Ask. You can find it on Amazon, or you can go on her website, which is?
LucindaCross.com.
All right, Katie's on the line, and she's from Austin. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning.
Katie.
Good morning.
How are you, Katie?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Doing well. We got Lucinda Cross in here. You want to say something to her?
Yes. Well, that's who I wanted to know who it was, because the last caller, I was listening to him and about speaking to existence, and that's where I'm at right now, because I recently quit my job and I want to open my own trucking business, and I've been working towards that, and just that's so important about.
Oh, line cut out.
Tell you how you can't do it, but you got to stay positive. You got to be positive. Tell yourself you can do this. You got it. And I wanted to know what the book was, because I'm looking for a new book to read. So, what was the book called? It was called Ask, you said, and by who?
The Big Ask by Lucinda Cross. The Big Ask.
Lucinda, you talk about in the chapter what you want wants you.
Yes.
And that's a great chapter, Katie. I think you should really get the book. It's a good read, but talk about that chapter to Katie.
So on this new journey, just one, congratulate yourself. Yes, you lost your job. Celebrate that, right? And because you're about to pick up you're into a whole new transition. And so in the book, I talk about how just as you want this business and this trucking business, that trucking business wants you too. Go buy some some trucks and take pictures next to the trucks, talk to some truckers, get all inside the truck, so just get the feeling as if, you already own and have this business and you walk on that trucking ground like, listen, I own at least 4 or 5 of you guys. And so just step all the way into the vision. It's not just about seeing it and talking and speaking it. It's really owning the space of it. So I want you to tag me on a picture of you standing next to a truck and saying, "This is mine."
Okay,
I'm gonna send you a picture after I order this book on Amazon as well.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm super excited, and I've been telling myself this is not a struggle right now. This is just a transition.
Absolutely.
There you go. Katie, you're a citizen, Katie.
Sway in the morning.
Okay, we're going to take one last call. Is Brooklyn. Chris, what's up, Chris?
Brooklyn in the house.
Yo, you know it. Good morning. How you doing? How y'all doing?
Good morning.
Now, what is it that you like to ask?
All right. So I have a problem, right? Every time I have an idea, I would speak it into existence, and in the I'm from the West Indian community also, so we have this thing like, if you speak it, somebody might bad mind you or bad talk you and say, oh, nah, you can't have that or whatever. Is it a good thing that I'm doing where like everything like I say something like I say this, I claim everything that I asked for now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's positive, but then also don't have the mindset that if you speak it, somebody's going to steal it. God has unlimited ideas and resources, and so to just limit him because someone a lot of times you're speaking to non-dreamers. You can't be a dreamer speaking to a non-dreamer. You can't be a believer expecting a non-believer, someone who's not doing what they're supposed to do, to also support you. And so hold it so you're not prematurely speaking. Yes, you claim it, but you may be prematurely speaking to those who are, dream killers. And they anytime you get around them, they're just praying against you and not praying for you. So just hold on to it. Don't lose the mindset that if I speak it, someone may steal it. So what? God has unlimited resources, unlimited ideas. He makes millionaires every single day. Amen. And just know your number is coming up, but just do not prematurely speak it, claim it, and walk in it.
That sound good, Chris?
Yeah,
Chris, you're a citizen.
That's Sway in the morning.
All right,
Get the book, Chris.
Yeah.
Get the book, Chris.
Yeah, the rest is on you, Chris. Lucinda, I want to thank you for joining us today.
Yes.
This is awesome.
Thank you.
Kelly Kinkaid.
Absolutely.
Thank
Yes.
you, Kelly.
Yes, and people can follow you by.
Lucinda Cross on Instagram.
And please go get the book, The Big Ask. People follow me, all social, Kelly Kinkaid, KELLY, and sign up for her conference, The Big Ask, on September 20th in New York City.
Yes.
And you can go get tickets at thebigasklive.com.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Lucinda.
Thank
Continued
you.
success, okay?
Yes.
All
Get your
right.
ass together.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to come
love
back
it.
sometime soon, all right?
Count me. I'm here.
All right, there it is, man. Sway in the morning, Shade 4-5. We're coming right back.
Ain't